Hello, mathematicians, and welcome to today's episode of Virtual Math Class. Today we will be talking about translations, and we will be graphing the image. So our objectives for the day will be, students will be able to first graph a translation, and everyone should remember what a translation is, but we will review that. And secondly, find the coordinates of a figure after a translation has occurred. Okay, so let's remember what a translation is first of all. So translation has an S, and our S, we remember, is slide. So if we have a triangle and it slides over, we're going to act like those are the exact same. That is called a translation. So the image looks the exact same, except it's just in a different location on the graph. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started. So on this one, it says to graph the image of S, which is at 9, -9, after a translation of 3 units left. So it already has S graphed for us. So S is right here at 9, -9. And it tells us that a translation, and what's a translation? A slide. So if we're right here at S right now, and we slide 3 units left, we're going to go 1, 2, 3. And that's going to be our new point. So our new point is right here. And we could call that S prime. So here's our new S. So we've graphed it. Check. Now it wants to know what the coordinates are after the translation. So we need to have our X and our Y coordinate. Our X coordinate, if we look, we're at 6. And our Y coordinate, we are at -9. So this graph will be the one that you, the same one that'll be on iExcel. So notice that it goes from 2 to 4 to 6 to 8 to 10. So those dashes in between, that would be 1, 3, 5. Okay, so all of our lines are there. It just looks a little different because not every line is labeled like we're used to. Okay, next example. It says graph the image of rectangle BCDE after a translation. So we're still in translation. 9 units left and 11 units down. So we're going to be doing 2 different things here. So we have to graph each one, 9 units left and 11 units down. So I'm going to start with point E. And I'm going to go 9 units left first. And then I'm going to go 11 units down. So if I'm right here, I'm going to go 9 units left. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then I'm going to go 11 units down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So right there is my new point. Okay, I'm going to switch colors and graph it really quick for us. So, and I'm going to label that with E prime. So then I can see here, instead of going over 9 to the left and 11 down, it's only one distance away from my E. So after E, I can go down 1 unit, and that would be my point for D. And I can do the same thing for my D. So D is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 units away from E and put my next point for D. And I'm going to label that with D prime. And so then C, I can see that C is just 1 down. And so then I put my label for C. And so I do realize that over here for my second point, I put D instead of B, and that needs to be B. So now I just connect my box and we're going to act like mine's all perfect and beautiful because it's hard to draw on this. So that is how you would graph the rectangle after a translation of 9 units left and 11 units down. You could go from each individual point, and do 9 units left, 11 units down. But I find that takes a little bit more time. Okay, so next one, it says graph the image of triangle KLM after a translation of 5 units left and 4 units up. So I'm going to start with point M. So point M, which is right here, I'm going to take and I'm going to go 5 units left and then 4 units up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now 4 units up. 1, 2, 3, 4. So my new point for M is right here. And again, I'm going to label that M prime. That way I know. And so then I'm going to do the same thing for K. I'm going to go over to the left 5 units. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I'm going to go up 4 units. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to plot my point there. Right here. And I'm going to do the same thing for L. So I'm going to go, or actually instead of doing the same thing, I can see that K and L are only 1 distance apart. So I'm just going to go ahead and go 1 over and put my point there. Now, excuse the bad drawing that's about to happen. So then I connect my triangle. Oh, isn't that beautiful? That is just perfection. And then I actually forgot to label my points. So there is my my image after the translation, my triangle KLM. So now it asks over here, it asks for what are the coordinates after the translation. So I'm going to give you a second, try to figure it out, and then I'll put them down. Okay, so point M is at the coordinate 3, 10. Point K is at the point 4, 1. And point L is at the location 5, 1. Did you get those right? I knew you would. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the relationship that exists. And this again is very similar to what we've already discussed in one of our videos last week. So if you move left or right, it changes the x coordinate. And if you move up or down, if left or right changes the x coordinate, if you move up or down, which one is it going to change? The y coordinate. So if you move up or right, you're going to add to your x or y value. So then if we add whenever we go up or down, if we move, up or right, if we go down or left, you subtract from your x or y coordinate. So that's the relationship that exists. So this is kind of like a cheat sheet. So if we went back and we looked whenever we move left or right, we can see that our x coordinate changes. And if we move up or down, the y, and if we are moving up or right on a graph ever, we're going to be adding. We're going to be getting bigger. And if we move down or left, we're going to be subtracting because we're going to be getting smaller. And that concludes today's lesson. I hope everyone learned something new. It should be fairly easy, but if not, shoot me an email, a reminder, something, and let me know how I can help you. And here, Mrs. Price is yet again cheering you on because you guys are doing awesome, and we are celebrating everything you have learned in this video. Great job, you guys.